Hey, my mate, been a good weekend. Yeah, not happy with those scores, but it's fine. It's a great feedback. You're starting to understand the process and what it takes. Okay, so very, very good. And again, looks like mentally and emotionally under control. So well done for that. Right, so let's get a little bit more specific this week and in the upcoming weeks, I think. Where are we golf swing wise? Yes, that drills from Friday just looked amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, so where are we at? Can we swing within our posture, i.e. not get further or closer to the ball within the swing? Very difficult. Okay, but we're getting better. I love that drill. Okay, it worked really well for you. Right? So we're going to keep that. Can we keep control of this club face, so not open and close the face too much? Cool. Part of the journey, also quite difficult. Okay, we're working on it. It's getting better. All right? Okay, and then center striking. Now, those two will very much relate to center striking, to be fair. Okay, but then center striking. All right, so let's just touch on the short game for now. If you don't have control of those movements and your center striking and your low point, which you just started working on, is a little bit out, okay, then your short game shots are going to be out. Okay, simple as that. All right, so, you know, obviously there's different courses in the UK, but typical sort of UK courses, you know, often you're not even playing in winter because it's too muddy and wet and cold and unpleasant and stuff. But then summer comes, and yeah, you get the odd one, but mostly get these juicy lies, and it's more that difficult to control, excuse me, how the ball's going to come out in terms of carry distance and roll out, because you get grass stuck between the face. But you don't really chunk or thin them or any of that type of stuff, you know. So the shot seems fine, and in softer greens, you kind of can get away with it, right? And obviously Trump style course, very different. So we need a different skill set, right? So we need to be able to control that low point, okay? And obviously we need to be able to hit the middle of the face. Very, very important. So it dials into what we work on, right? But for me, the main shots you need there right now, okay, your sort of four main shots you need at Trump, okay? You need the chip off a tight line, okay? It's tight, and yes, it's a bit soft, okay? It's sand-based, but it's tight, right? So you need the chip off a tight line. You need the explosion out of the waist area, right? Sometimes as much as 40, 45 meters. Okay, I'm talking about around the green. I'm not talking about getting back onto the fairway or trying to advance the ball 100 meters. I'm talking about green side. Okay, so you need that explosion out of the waist area. You need that chip off a tight lie, okay? And then you need a lag putt. Okay, 50, 60 foot putts with break, sometimes double break. Okay, that's a short game shot. That's not a putting shot. Okay, so you need to practice these things. Right. And then I want to add in a little chip and run. A little old school chip and run. Okay, because there's certain situations, or when you're not confident, when it is a bit tight, okay, that often you're not having to carry stuff. Okay, I mean mounds, but not bunkers or rough. Okay, so you can learn to chip and run and use the mounds. Okay, so I want to incorporate that into our practice. Okay, into our execution, into our game. That's going to be our 4 shots, right? Okay, so now, chip of a tight line. Now, you got to make sure of your wedge setup. Okay, so just check the bounce angles on your lob wedge. If it's too sharp, okay, then rather chip with a sand wedge, all right? But basically with tight chips, what you're worried about is the leading edge catching the ground, right? So, very, very easy. Now, this is one of those myth things, right? So, a lot of times when you talk to chip, you go, okay, keep your hands forward. Right. The problem at those types of golf courses, if you try and keep your hands forward, is you just making the leading edge even sharper and more pronounced. Okay. So forget about keeping your hands forward. All right. Try and give yourself a little bit of bounce. Okay. Don't have the hands too far forward. Give yourself a little bit of bounce, and probably tweak the face open a couple of degrees as well. Just tweak it open 2 degrees, okay? And then from there, you can make a much shallower little chipping action, okay? Because this one that, you know, you get taught old school, hands forward, is more of an up and down sort of stabby motion. And again, for getting out of grass, it comes in steeper. So a shallower chipping action out of rough, if the ball's in rough, catches grass over here. So by the time it gets to the ball, the club is slowed down and closed, plus there's a lot of grass between the ball. With that for hands forward, more up and down, okay, you get way less grass between the ball, and the ball pops up because it's sitting in the rough. Can't do that out of that You can't do that in tight lines. You're just going to chunk so many, right? So, hands less forward, face just a tweak open, okay? And this shallower action, all right? And we're almost trying to pick the ball. So don't be worried about hitting it thin. I mean, don't hit it too thin, but you can hit it second or third groove and get some good results as long as you still and the body is turning. Okay. All right, so nice and shallow, not too much lead in the handle. Tweak that face open, okay? And just nice little turn of those shoulders. Okay, don't try and do anything or change anything, just a tiny little pivot. Okay, let that club bounce, and you start feeling the clubs bouncing on the ground here instead of here. Great, absolutely great. Okay, take a little bit of a while to get your touch going. I think you'll be surprised how much spin it generates. Okay, especially if you're using a good golf ball. All right, but just practice that for me. Okay, right. Explosion. Right, now, yes, can be difficult. You've got to be precise. That's what you have to be. You have to be precise. Okay, so I want you to do some line drill. Okay, it dials into tile on the ground low point drill. Okay, with those long explosions, I would use a sandwich, not a lob wedge. Okay, then you don't have to try and swing so hard. Okay, again, just tweak it a couple of degrees open. All right, and we're trying to hit consistently 1 inch. Because it's firm, if you're too far behind, the club actually bounces and you catch it thin. Okay, so what you need to do is make a line in the sand. Okay, make a line in the sand. I would practice some hitting that line without any balls. Okay, and then put the balls in. You're just trying to hit literally consistently. Okay, for that, kind of opposite. You do need it more handsy and more up and down. Okay, don't want to get too shallow on that one. Okay, then from there, once you strike it consistently, then it's just a little bit of practice. A little bit harder to go 45, 50 meters, a little bit softer to go 30, 35 meters. And you just practice it. All right? Okay, then we're going to have a little old school chip and run. Okay, remember it's a chip, not a putt. Sometimes people say, oh, you putt these. No, you don't putt these. Okay, you must chip them. Okay, so just a narrow stance. Spoke a little bit about this, hands forward. Okay, I like a little right-sided toe release because these clubs are designed that way anyway. So if you're using like a 7 or 8 iron, I like just gently releasing the toe, almost like a tiny little draw. Just that toe releasing. Okay, and then just trying to practice how much speed the balls are carrying up the slope. Okay, and then your lag putting. Okay, and then again, lag putting, very much the same. Strike the middle of the face. Make sure you're using as much shoulders, as much body work as you can, not too handsy. Okay, and make sure the tempos are good. Okay, if you're miss hitting a putt from 50 foot, all right, the effect by the time it gets to that hole, it can be as much as 8 or 9 foot just because of a miss hit. Okay, so practice in the middle of your putter, all right, and practice those long putts, keeping your tempo, not hitting them so the ball's bouncing all over the place. Okay, swing-wise, if you do get a chance to practice, okay, it's what we've been doing. Tile drill with the wedges, tile on the ground, low point drill with the wedges. Remember to move those tees closer for your center striking. Okay, definitely that rod behind, hips on the rod drill, working beautifully. Okay, and then your 3/4 swings, trying to keep the face as shut as possible. Those are the things working, okay, and leading us to where we want to get to. All right, thanks, my mate. Work through all that, think about it. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, thank you as always, and I'll talk to you later.